subscribe, hit that notification button, and don't forget to share this video with your fellow veterans. Good evening and welcome to my YouTube channel on this evening's live Q&A session. I'm going live with you to answer your questions as it pertains to the VA disability compensation claims process. And today, there's no real topic that other than I'm just going to do the Q&A. But before I jump into the Q&A, just want to make sure everybody understands this Q&A session is for educational and informational purposes only. Okay, so I want to make sure the last couple of times I haven't been able to get through all the Q&A through all the questions. So I want to make sure I get through at least the majority of them because this is only an hour. Okay, so also before we get started, I am going to start doing a private Q&A session. Okay, it's going to be limited to about 5 or 6 seats where I'm going to go live. We're going to be on Zoom and I'm going to answer your questions. A lot of questions I'm not really understanding sometimes as people type them in. So you're going to go live with me for 1 hour. We're going to do a deep dive into your questions. Now, if it's a question that requires 30, 40, 50 minutes of research, then this may not be the Q&A session for you. So throughout the night, I'm going to put the link where you can register for this event. It's going to be September 27th. I'm going to have 2 events on the day, one from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the next one will be at 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on September 27th. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to raise my mic here a little bit and we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into the Q&A. All right. So first vet, we got Buster Cap. Okay, I saw that earlier. I tried to upload my intent to file on my expiration date. Got an error message saying try later. Error message went away the next day. How do I file and keep the original intent to file date without losing the back pay? You can, if you took a screenshot of it, depending on if you get service connected, you get the rating and the effective date will be on there. You can let them know, hey, I tried to upload it on this date. It gave me an error message. I came back the next day. But the big thing is, you got 365 days to submit that claim. I would not wait until that 365 day mark. So you can try that and see. But, it's going to be a 50-50 chance. I would say probably going to lose that back pay, but I'm not the one that's adjudicating the claim. So if you took a screenshot of it, say, hey, I tried to upload it on this particular date, the date my intent to file expired, I went back the next day. If you can prove that, then it's going to be a toss-up. They may or may not do that or accept say that your intent to file expired. Why does the VA keep moving my due date back for my info they requested? I provided, I provided it and stated that I have no additional info. What do you think I should do about this? Call my congressman. I think a lot of veterans, they're quick to call a congressperson. And when I used to rake those claims, I would see that statement or letter in there from the congressperson. It really, I saw the letter and that was it. I still had to follow the VA guidelines. Okay. So just because someone wrote in from Congress doesn't mean that it's going to get done faster or an automatic grant. That adjudicator still have guidelines to follow. Okay. But as far as if you said, hey, rate with the evidence of record, depending on what they're needing, they may still request it. So without looking at that information, it's hard to say. Got a donation, Buster Cap. Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate the donation. I even gave you a shout out there. I logged in about 3 hours ago just to get set up, and I saw you left a message. All right. So CB, hello Dwayne. How we doing there, CB? I filed a BDD claim, and all my claims were effective as of August 2nd, and the claim closed out then as well because my contract ended. Though they put effective date for benefits September 1st, and I said I will not be receiving back pay from August 2nd when claim closed and effective dates for claims were written. Why is this? Okay, so when you're on active duty, or you go, if you're active duty and you go you ETS or you retire. So let's just say the ETS date is August 30th. I think it's only 30 days in August, maybe. Um, yeah, August 31st. All right. But in your case, I think you said August 2nd. Okay, August 2nd. So if your ETS or retirement date is August 2nd, you get service connected, your effective date should be the date after discharge from active duty. Okay. Date after discharge from active duty. All right. So if they make that decision, if you're out August, let's say, you get out August 2nd, your effective date is August 3rd, and they make their rating decision in August, there is no back pay because August, September, I'm sorry, wait a minute. Okay, yeah. If your ETS date or retirement date is August, let me do this again, August 2nd. Then your effective date is August 2nd August 3rd. Effective dates can be really tricky. ETS date, retirement date, August 2nd. Your effective date is August 3rd, date after discharge. Okay. If they do the rating decision in August, there's no back pay because the August 1st payment was for July and you were on active duty at that time. So you can't double dip. All right. Now, let's just say they make a decision this month. Then September 1st payment is for August, whether your effective date is August 3rd or August 31st. It's for the month of August. So it'd be 1 month back pay. Okay. I hope I didn't confuse you on that, but effective dates can be tricky, but they're simple when it comes to the veteran, especially when they come off of active duty. It's the date, the effective date is the date after discharge. So when you said September 1st, but you got out August 2nd, they're going to have that in the notification letter. And I think I got an upcoming video where I explain the difference between the notification letter and the rating decision. And in there, I talk about the veteran being the effective date in this month, but the payout date is from the first of the following month. So I think that's where you're going with it, but I will have to see that information in the notification letter to confirm that. Okay. Okay. See, hello. Is there anything that can speed up a claim? Wow. Good question. Um, I would say yes and no. One, and this is why. If you submit 1,000 pages of evidence, and I've seen this happen, and you say that, hey, I went out and got treatment from this private, 10 different private doctors. When you do that, you just added months onto your claim. Now, let's just say, for example, you submit a DBQ for increase and you got it done by your private doctor and they can use it for rating purposes. That claim may get worked a lot sooner than the one that I just mentioned before. Okay. I have 3 claims with CMP info included from November and December last year. My claim has been stalled and pending decision since February this year. It's kind of hard to say what's going on with that because depending on if they're doing additional development based on the conditions that you claim, if you said, hey, I saw treatment from these private doctors it could be a number of reasons, but some of those reasons may cause your claim to be prolonged. Now, let's just say they're not doing any additional development and it's just sitting there. They should have made a decision by now, especially if they have everything that they need. But you or I would know that. Okay. Hey, Dwayne, what's going on, Snowman? Hey, Snowman, Busted Cap beat you to them questions. He logged in kind of early and got those questions up there. But anyway, hey, Dwayne, I won't be able to catch the live, but we'll watch the replay. I already hit the like button. Oh, hey, I appreciate it. Snowman, I think the last time it was the same thing. He came in early, logged in early, posted his question, and was able to get it answered for him. So he has a question. Have you ever used VA form 20-10207 to expedite claims? So, man, I would have to go and look and see what that form is, but I would say I've never used the form, but I'm not familiar with it. I would have to go and see what that form is. I just used it this week with my supplemental claim and want to know, do you have any experience using this before? Snowman, I would say no, because I don't, right off the top of my head, I don't know the name of that form, but I know I never used it personally. Okay, Earl, what's up? Jersey in the house. Okay, I see you. Gator fan. Hello, Wayne from Tallahassee, United States Army Iraq veteran, 24th Infantry Division. Now, how long does it take when Vieira, St. Petersburg? Well, Vieira is not in St. Petersburg, but St. Petersburg with a Raider since August 15th. And does that mean I am approved? I'm not really understanding the question as it pertains to St. Petersburg with a Raider since August 15th. Oh, are you saying it's been assigned with the Raider since August 15th? And does that mean it's approved? Well, no, it doesn't mean it's approved. But I'm so shocked that it's been assigned with a Raider since August 15th. Here's why. When I rated, they use a system called VBMS, Victor Bravo Mike Sierra, and the coach puts claims in the Raiders queue. Okay. And they're not supposed to stay in that queue. I know when I rated, you had to have, once that claim was in your queue, you had to have it rated within 5 days. And then it went down to 3 days. So I've been out of the rating system for a few, 2-3 years now. So I don't know if that's changed. Okay. But I'm surprised if it's been sitting in the Raiders queue since August 15th, unless there's some underlying issues that they're doing something detailed with that particular claim. Okay. But it doesn't mean that, it's approved. Janice, and they replied and said no revisions. Okay. I'm not understanding that question, Janice. I don't see that you asked one before that, unless you were answering somebody else's question. Okay. How do you rate bilateral conditions for glaucoma? And is that plantar fasciitis, pes planus? So in the rating schedule, depending on, and I don't have it in front of me, but there's specific criteria for glaucoma. So it's either going to be rated under the glaucoma criteria or visual impairment. Okay. So if you go to the rating schedule for the body systems for, what is that? I think it's organs of special senses or something like that, you'll find the detailed criteria for glaucoma. And that's why I'm saying, everyone, that's why I'm doing this private Q&A, and I'll go ahead and put the link for the event at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because sometimes these questions, they're not really clear. But in this private Q&A, it's going to be live. I can see you. I can hear you in same way with me. If I need to jump in the organs of special sense body system and show you the criteria for glaucoma, I can do that. Okay. Lonnie Brinson, hey Dwayne, what's the average waiting time for a hearing with the BVA? From what I've been seeing, there's no average wait time. I don't think so. and the VA hasn't stated that there is, but what I've been seeing is around 2 or 3 years. Okay. Some veterans could get a BVA hearing before that. Some may go longer, but there's no average wait time just based on what I've seen. But that's not to say you're going to get it within 2 or 3 years. I processed a CUE asking for effective date, but VA replied and said no revisions. What to do next for situation? Well, I did a video. I would suggest to go watch the video I did on CUE. So you said you're asking for earlier effective date. Did you give them the effective date that you should have been awarded? And then did you give them the regulation or the M21 that states you should have been granted that effective date? All right. But in that letter, they should have given you some options. Okay. And I've been talking to a lot of veterans that haven't been reading that notification letter and rating decision. I have an upcoming video where I'm going to be explaining the difference between the two. But when you get these letters from the VA, you need to read every single sentence on every single page. Put it down, go back the next day, and read it again because there is a lot of information in there. Okay. And a lot of veterans are missing it because they'll say, hey, Dwayne, I got a decision and it states this. What do I do next? I'll say, well, did you read the notification letter? Oh, it's about the education benefits. If you're 100% PNT, did you call that 800 number that's in the notification letter? Oh, I didn't see it. Did you see it or didn't you read it? Okay. So I'm not saying that you did that, but check that correspondence that they sent you and see if they give you any options. Okay. Okay. I see you, Mr. Jones from Vegas. All right, Mrs. Spree, thanks for the support from AZ. Saw you just signed up for the roundtable. Okay, we got somebody logging in from Facebook from the Philippines. Welcome. Alejandro, hello, Dwayne. Hope you're doing good. Any good advice on what can I expect for a CMP for asthma? Alejandro, hope I'm pronouncing that right. Alejandro, look at the diagnostic code criteria for asthma. And if I'm not mistaken, it's going to talk about FEV, FVC, DLCO. You may have to do a pulmonary function test, if I'm not mistaken, but go to the rating scheduler, look in the respiratory, respiratory condition body system, and look up asthma. And in there, it'll give you all the criteria for like the 0, 10, 20, whatever percentages are for asthma. It'll give you that criteria. So you want to educate yourself with that. And also go to the VA's website and pull up the asthma DBQ because those are questions that they should be asking that's on that DBQ. I did a video with one of my employees with a mock CMP exam. I was the examiner and he was the veteran, and we went through it, and I intentionally missed a question. And then at the end, he came and followed up and said, hey, I see you missed this question because he had that DBQ in front of him. Okay. A. Lewis, I received my high level review, HLR stands for high level review decision. And they stated I was service connected for sleep apnea, lower back, and migraines, but I was not rated. Never seen that before. I would have to look at the high level review to see what they're talking about. Yeah, if you're already service connected, are they saying that you already service connected for it and you filed an appeal, but you're service connected? I would have to see that actual HLR to see exactly what they're talking about. Okay, hey, thanks again for the donation. Definitely appreciate it. If I'm in the USA, is it okay to have a Nexus letter DBQ from a medical doctor in a different country? I don't see why not, but what I've been seeing, I did a video. Better yet, I did a video on why the VA is not using your DBQ, and I point out some different reasons that I've seen why they're not using Veterans DBQ, even though they're actionable and sufficient. And I'm not going to get into detail, but one of the big things, and someone, on here tonight, let me know if this happened to you, where you get a DBQ, they can use it, it's actionable and sufficient, and then they still request the exam. That happened to me, and I said, hey, I'm not going. But they've been trying not to use the veterans DBQ, especially if the examiner didn't state they reviewed your VA claims file or e-folder. Okay. Thus, I always tell people, get a copy of your claims folder just for that reason. Okay. Chris B. Hi, Dwayne. What is a suspense date and how is it determined? All right. I don't want to draw this out, but suspense dates, let's see, I'm trying to think of an example. Say for instance, they send you something asking, they send you a medical release form. Okay. They're going to assign a suspense date. All right. And they're going to give you a time to return that information. Okay. Or return that form. They're going to set a suspense date on it. And the system will go back, it will, if it's 30 days, 60 days, if it's RVSR hearing, then there's obviously a suspense date. And during that time, certain things need to happen. And then after that, the system will say, hey, go back and review this. Okay. So they have to set a suspense date. Hope I didn't confuse you with that. But I was just trying to think of an example that could help with that, help with the answer. I'm sorry. Meathead, good evening, Mr. Kimball. Good evening to you as well. George, my dad filed his claim in December and it still has not been rated. I've been seeing that a lot lately. I don't know the exact reason for that. I would say I was on usajobs.gov and I see that the VA has been posting for a lot of positions. Okay. And you got to understand these positions, especially not rating specialists, you have the veteran service representative, and normally they will apply for a promotion up to RVSR, rating veteran service representative. When I was a rater, I hired in as a rater. Okay. And it took me 2 years to get comfortable to send out a rating decision without having someone else look at it. Or I ask a lot of questions. Okay. And I think when they're hiring, I'm saying hiring, I'm country, so that's my country swing accent coming out. But when they're hiring a lot of people, it takes time. And then you got the current VA employees going on vacation with, summertime. We're just coming out of summer, right? So I'm pretty sure when I was there, a lot of people were taking vacation to spend time with their kids. Okay. Then guess what? We got Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up. So you're going to have a lot of VA employees taking time off. So that could contribute to some of the delays, but there's several factors. Okay. Every claim is different, and those factors could affect each claim different. But December, I'm surprised. I've been seeing claims, especially with some of our clients, get done a lot sooner. Greetings from Texas. Thanks for all the relevant information. Not a problem. Definitely appreciate it. Chuck, in 5 years, I have gone from 10% for tinnitus and hearing loss to 80%. Congrats. To 30% for migraines and 50% anxiety, which is increased 3 months ago. Is it too soon to apply for TDIU? There's no, I want to make sure my mic is still good to go. It's not too soon, but I did a video and I was talking to someone today about TDIU. TDIU is not a standalone claim. So Chuck, go out, look at that video. I go through and I explain the basics as it pertains to TDIU. TDIU is not a standalone claim. So what that means is it's a claim for increase for the service-connected conditions that you're saying prevent you from gainful employment. Okay. Hello from DMV. All right. Eric. Bill, good evening. Does environmental hazards and Gulf War service-connected disability qualify for CRSC since it was combat related. CRSC, I know what it is, but I didn't have any direct when I rated, I didn't have any direct issues with like CRSC. So that I am not familiar. I know what CRSC is, but the ins and out of it, no, because it wasn't part of the raters when process when they rated the claims. Sunshine. What is the best way to get around lost medical records? My husband claims keeps getting denied due to lack of evidence, even with Nexus letter, because they can't find his service medical records. In that notification letter, or even in the rating decision, they should explain what to do if your records are lost. Okay. What I've seen veterans do, depending on what you're claiming, let's just say like tinnitus, ringing in the ears. You don't need your medical records for that, especially if you're claiming it due to your MOS. Okay. And then there may be some conditions that you can claim secondary to that to build off of it. But one of the things that your husband can do is lay evidence from, maybe fellow soldiers, if you were married to him at the time that he was in service, so you can write a lay statement. Now, that's going to be up to the adjudicator of how much weight that they put to that lay statement. Okay. But you could probably go into the M21 and just look for lost medical records or lost medical records and see what come up. And that could be some additional information or some examples that they give you. Okay. So we got 120 people in here. Somebody let me know how many likes we have. We should have 120. I am putting the link to the private Q&A session in the comment section. And keep in mind, this is the one at 1 p.m., but I will be offering another one at 7 p.m. September 27th. Okay, so you still got some time to sign up for that. All right. Okay. CB, thank you for your response and time. I appreciate everything you do. Keep it up. Will do. I'm keep bringing these videos and doing these live Q&A sessions. Carlos, hi from Puerto Rico. Rhinitis, favorable findings. I have been diagnosed with a disability by the VA. Exam event injury during my service. Now what? I did a video on favorable findings, and I would suggest, Carlos, check it out. Favorable findings is confusing for veterans. Even though there's favorable findings, doesn't mean that that's automatic service connection. They could say, hey, not only do you have a diagnosis, you got an event in service. You had a CMP exam. Guess what? The examiner denied you. Not the rater. The examiner said, no, less likely than not. So favorable findings, I kind of hate that they put that in the rating decision, 50%, because it's confusing to the vet. So Carlos, go check out that video. Actually, one of my employees, we co-hosted that video, and he broke down favorable findings. I recently received my 100% PNT. Congratulations. So everybody, give a shout out to Meathead in the comment section. Let him know congratulations on maximizing his benefits, or his or her, I'm sorry, last weekend with a nice back pay. So Meathead, what you're saying is you got a nice back pay and you're taking all of us out to Sizzlers, right? Steak dinner on Meathead. Thanks for all your great videos and Q&As. They were very instrumental in me getting the rating I received. Well, hey, congrats. Glad to hear that you're able to maximize your benefits, okay? So whenever you're in the Tampa area, I'm presuming steak and shrimp on you, right? I'm just kidding. Eagle Wings. I finally reached 100%. Interesting. They added all my heart stuff and all my lung stuff together. But since 100%, will they back pay for additional 30% scar that I received this week? Yes and no. I would have to look at the effective dates because that's going to determine if any back pay is warranted. So again, we got another person 100%. Give Eagle Wings a shout out in the comment section. CB, thank you so much for your response and time on these Q&As. Not a problem. You are educational. You are very educational and appreciate all the hard work You put forth for everyone on here. Keep it up. Hey, I'm gonna keep doing it because it's my passion to educate veterans, and that's what I do. I educate. I don't represent veterans. I don't advise veterans. Again, I don't represent veterans before the VA. I educate them. So if you go out to my website, you'll see all the educational services that I provide. Okay. If I complain, if I complain when almost out of active duty about my neck, and they told me VA will take care of that, don't believe that. Don't believe that person. Then I'm out and VA X-ray shows DDD, spondylosis, etc. on my neck. Can I claim that injury? Yes, you can. But getting service connected, that's the second part of it. Okay. Karen Barbie, when your claim has been remanded back to the regional office from BVA, do I need to submit any additional evidence? So when you talk to that judge, did that judge say you need to submit any evidence? When you received, well, since you haven't got the rating decision, so if did the judge tell you to submit any evidence? And I was talking to someone earlier today I think yesterday about BVA, and they were saying, hey, well, the judge said this, the judge said that, and they were asking me questions that they should have asked the judge. So my question to you, Karen, is during that BVA hearing with that judge, did he or she ask you to submit any additional evidence? Okay. Karen, I went through all the exams with LHI a year ago and told nothing else is needed. November 13th. Now, 13 months later, I get a notification letter that I submitted a claim and should be getting LHI exam date soon. Earlier this year, I heard there being a problem where vets had went through with LHI. Actually, they went to the exam. It's been 2 or 3 months later, and then they get something else saying I need to report for the same exam that they already did. I don't know why that is. I would have to, you would have to reach out. It could have been someone looked at the claim again, didn't bother to go back and see that the exams were done and requested the exam again. I did a video, I think it was early December 2020, on can you file a complaint? And I talk about how I filed my complaint against a VA employee and won. So one of the things that the VA gives you the option, if you file a complaint through the VA White House hotline, and I asked to speak to a supervisor, I have a supervisor call me back, not a lower level VA employee, not trying to be condescending, but I wanted a supervisor because those supervisors can make things happen. So in this case, you call the 800 number, file a complaint, ask for a supervisor and say, hey, were these exams requested in error? Because I've already had them. Why are we requesting them again? Okay. Because you call the 800 number, they don't rate claims, they don't develop claims, they just take phone calls. Okay. Oh, P&T finally. Okay, there you go. All right. How can baseline level severity of headaches be established? Art, good question. Now, I've been thinking about doing a video on this. So normally when you see baseline, you're claiming something, let's say you're claiming something secondary. You normally see it secondary. And you get a letter in the mail saying, hey, what is the baseline? And that's when veterans get confused. So if you're claiming it's secondary, say for instance, you claim a migraine secondary to medication you took for PTSD, and you didn't have migraines before being prescribed a medication, but now you have, the baseline is 0 because you didn't have this condition before the service connected condition that you're claiming is secondary to. I know that may sound confusing, Art, but let me know if they cleared it up. Can it be from a personal statement like I did, but may not have been taken into consideration? My claim was aggravation from PTSD. There you go. I answered the question, didn't even read the rest of the question. So if you claim something secondary to PTSD, in your example, then you ask yourself, did you have it before? If you didn't, then the statement is simple. The baseline is 0 because I didn't have this condition before PTSD. Hope that clarified it for you, Art. Mrs. Spree, thank you again for the donation, and thank you. Just being supportive to the YouTube channel. You're always on the Q&A. You're always in the roundtables, and I definitely appreciate it. She said, "Thanks, Dwayne, as usual. Always grateful for your support and keeping us vets on top of the game. Blessings and thank you. You're most certainly welcome, and thank you for the support to the channel." How do I get my CMP records? Now, you must be new to the channel because you know what, Mrs. Spree, let him know or let her know how to get it. Okay. But before that, in all of my YouTube videos, if you click that show more, I have a lot of information in that description section. Okay. And in that description section, I list verbatim how you can get a copy of your records. Okay. So Mrs. Spree, I'm gonna put you on point tonight. And if you can, since you've been a big supporter to the channel, go ahead and explain in detail to this vet how they can get it. Because I know you've been around me, you heard me talk about it a lot. So I'm gonna put you out there on Front Street with that, okay? But anyway, it's in the description section of all my videos. L. Diaz, hi Dwayne. My claims are stuck on step 5 for months. What can I do to get info on ratings? One, you're not going to get that much information from the call center because they're going to say claims are worked in order received, blah, 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 blah. Had 6 CMP exams done plus all medical info. Again, somebody asked a similar question about, I think their claim was, the gentleman from Vegas said his dad's claim was from December. The VA is weird because, I've had clients file claims in June. They already got rating decisions. So why is taking other claims longer? There's a lot of variables that could have happened to prolong that claim. Okay. But you got to wait on them to make a decision. There's nothing, even now, I think in this instance, could your representative from Congress push that along saying, hey, the veteran states that the CMP exams were done 6 or 7 months ago and it's still sitting there ready for decision. Can you go ahead and make this claim ready for decision or rate this claim? And depending on what the VA does or who gets that complaint, they may go ahead and take action on it. All right. Janice, what is disability for bilateral glaucoma? I think I already answered that, Janice. I would have to go in to the rating schedule to see the exact criteria for bilateral glaucoma. Organs of special sense is the body system in the rating schedule. Byron Turner, have you seen depression and insomnia rated separately? No, that would be pyramiding. P.S. Hello, thank you, Art in Cleveland. Go Browns, go Bucks. Okay. Hey, I see your Browns beat Carolina. I don't think Mr. Mayfield's too happy about that. Okay, Philip, you cut off there. So service connected for left. It's that time. Booyaka, booyaka, booyaka. Greetings, Dwayne. What's tomorrow roundtable about? Good question. It's that time. I have a special guest. She's going to come on and talk about VA claims. Oh, no, sorry, not VA claims, VA home loans. Okay. So for those of you that haven't attended any of my roundtables, I always try to get a special guest on to talk about something VA related. Okay. To help veterans, whether it be for VA home loans, the difference between wills and trust. I think that was month before last, if I'm not mistaken, because last month we talked about the PACT Act. Month before that, I think it was wills and trust, the difference, estate planning, things that nature. And guess what? It's free. Okay, so a lot of good information comes out at Roundtable. But tomorrow, a local mortgage broker, she's going to be talking about the VA home loans process, because that process changed. So every once in a while, I will be, doing videos on that, or roundtables or topics on that, to get that information out to your veterans, because then you can, if you got friends, family, or something like that, that curious about the home loan process, then, you got that information. Like I said, again, it's free. I'm just trying to figure out where I left off, everyone. I'm sorry. Okay, there we go. All right. Hi, Dwayne. How do I get a copy of my CMP because I was denied on my claim? Okay. In the description section of all of my videos, I list how you can go about doing that verbatim. Get the link to the claim form, some verbiage that you can put on there. But the form itself is, straightforward. It has the your name, your address. It's just basic. But in the description section of all my videos, okay? So Ortiz, welcome back. Hey, Dwayne, so glad I got the chance to connect live. Likewise, hello from Youngstown, Ohio. You're doing a fantastic job keeping us veterans informed. Keep up the great work, U.S. Army vet. Hey, Joanne, it's our passion to educate veterans. I want to see veterans get the benefits that they deserve. If it's 100% PNT or if it's 50%. And I don't want veterans to go through what I went through. I did a video on my experience, on my VA claim experience as a rating specialist. So imagine going to work, rating claims, approving them, and getting denied for yours. That was not a good feeling. So I don't want anybody to go through what I went through. So I want to make sure I educate as many veterans as I can. Okay, so we got 140 people. Please let me know how many likes do we have. Okay, so here is the link for the event next on September 27th. It's going to be a private Q&A session. One session is 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. and another one from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. I'm keeping it small, 5 to 10 people max. Okay, so we can get through these questions. It's going to be live. Okay, so go ahead and check it out. Jeremy says, what is the CUE? Clearing the unmistakable error. And Jeremy, I'm going to direct you back to my YouTube channel where I've actually did a video explaining the criteria for CUE. Okay. Good information. There we go. Clearing up unmistakable error. Thanks for clarifying that or adding that input. Means that something was wrong with the claim. True, but the veteran has to point it out. Veteran has the burden of proof, and that's not always easy to do. Okay. Maurice, how can I get service connected for Crohn's disease? Okay. Good question. So I did a series of videos last year and the year before last. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5 of the VA claims process. And I did a video on the 5 ways of service connection. I think that was my first video. Go back and look at those videos because you got to ask yourself, for Crohn's disease, where does it fall under the 5 ways of service connection? Okay. And then when you know that, what is the criteria for one of those 5 ways that you're claiming it? Simple, right? But that's the starting point. Philip, you did, it was something left, but had flat feet pre-existing. So you're saying your flat feet was on your entrance exam? Mine was. I had moderate flat feet. I was seen in service a couple of times for bilateral foot pain. And then after service, I was treated for bilateral foot pain, bilateral pes planus severe. So my military service aggravated. So I'm assuming when you say pre-existing that you had it on your entrance exam. I had it as well. Most veterans do. But I had treatment and they denied my claim the first time, saying that they don't see anything about foot pain or pes planus in my medical records. I say, hey, send me a copy of my medical records. Guess what I see on the first page of the entrance exam? They dropped the ball. But I stayed in the fight and I got service connected for it. Maurice, And is Crohn's disease a presumptive condition? No. When you say presumptive, what you're saying is the Gulf War, Camp Lejeune, Agent Orange presumptive. I haven't seen it on that list. I was looking at the Agent Orange list the other day, and I don't think Crohn's was on there. DK, I miss Eric Smith. DK, I keep miss contacting you. When is a good time to reschedule? Thanks for all your videos. I don't know. I remember that name, but if you schedule a consultation, I always reach out with those. Sometimes I run a few minutes behind because the previous call ran over a little bit. But if you go to my website, you can schedule another consultation. Okay. So we got 150 people in here attending. I got about 15 minutes left. Somebody let me know how many likes we have so far. Janice have open angle glaucoma bilateral and only get 10%. What should I got? Janice, I had to go back and look at the rating schedule. There's several different body systems. There's several different VA diagnoses in them, like migraines. I know verbatim the 0, 10, 30, and 50% for those because I'm familiar with them. I know the 50% criteria for sleep apnea. Glaucoma, I would have to look it up. I don't know the exact criteria for open angle glaucoma. Again, you have to go out to the rating schedule, but look in the rating decision, because in the rating decision, they granted you the 10%. They also, by law, have to tell you why the next higher percentage was not warranted. It's right there in the rating decision. So that's why I was saying earlier, when you get that rating decision, read it. Just don't look at how much back pay you got or if you were denied. Read through it, because sometimes they can give you information that can help you if you do a supplemental claim, or they may tell on themselves and you may identify a CUE. Okay. So if you don't understand, if you read it and you don't understand it, have somebody that knows what they're doing, read it and provide feedback for you. Okay. Randy, have you ever heard of diabetes as secondary condition for a service-connected mental health disability? Man, that's a new one. No, I've never heard of that. Now, I'm not saying that it's not a secondary. I'm just saying I never heard of it. Okay, I'm not a medical professional, so that I don't know if it could be secondary. But have I seen it? No, I haven't seen diabetes claimed secondary to a mental health disability. That's not to say you can't get service connected for it. I just never seen a veteran claim it. Okay, it's that time to provide some feedback. At Philip Gutty, watch Dwayne's video on 5-way service connection concerning your question. CK out aggravation and condition by time and service. Yep, there you go. Art, thanks. I did just that after reading my reasons for decision. There you go. And where can you find the reasons for decision, Art? In the rating decision. You're not going to find the reasons for decision in the notification letter because it's in the rating decision. Letter, I understand it much better than the first time. There you go. Stay on top of it. Can diabetes be secondary to depression? I'm not a I'm not a medical professional, so I can't say that there is a connection of the two. But if you feel that it is, you can file it as a secondary claim. But again, you go to a CMP exam, and they have to make do that nexus, that medical opinion. You're right, Dwayne, CUH situation, but VA came back and said no revisions. They gave me max rating. I didn't ask for that. I asked for the effective date. So it gave, I would have to review that rating decision on the CUE and even evidence before that. But again, what do you think the correct effective date should be? And that's where, if I was reviewing it, that's the first question I would ask. What do you think the effective date should be? And then go through and see if they made an error in not assigning that effective date. Eddie, I got 10% rating for bilateral plantar fasciitis. Shouldn't that be a 10% rating for each foot? No, they do not break those out. I know in the past they used to, but I know some of that criteria has changed for that. But more than likely, they're going to combine that. Thanks, Dwayne, for the help in answering. Hey, not a problem. Joe, Dwayne, good evening. Thanks for continuing to educate us veterans. Not a problem. Watching your videos helped me to be successful when submitting my VA claim first time go. There it is. There it is. I try to pick topics that I think that are relevant to the claims process. And again, you're listening to people that say, "Hey, I watched Dwayne's video and it helped me with my service, getting service connected." I didn't represent them. I just educated them. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't have representation. That'd be up to you. Okay. I had representation, but the only reason why I had it is because I couldn't see my claim, but the VSO could. So I would go to the office and say, "Hey, I need you to put my claim. That rating specialist in Atlanta or St. Paul is jerking me around. I need to see what's going on." And they pull it up. That's the only reason why I had a representative. But it's up to you if you want one or not. Gator fan, I'm sorry. The Vera agent told me that the last medical records was uploaded and it was there since August 15th and it went to the rate on September 9th. Okay. But even still, they got X amount of days they need to get that rated. And let's see, the 9th was when? Last Friday. So yeah, if they probably didn't work the weekend, overtime, then it got a couple of days. It's been about 3 days. So yeah, hopefully they get to it soon. But your VSO should know when that rating decision is done. So make sure you stay on top of that. Fight for your 100%. You serve, you deserve. There you go. That guy. If rated 10% for degenerative joint disease for each knee, should you try to get DJD separated? No. They're not going to give you 10% for DJD. I'm not really understanding that. But that will be considered pyramiding. Now, there are other diagnosis codes underneath you can get. So let's just say you could get diagnosed, you can get service connected for flexion of the knee, extension of the knee, and instability of the knee. Okay. And it is not considered pyramiding, but degenerative joint disease for the right knee, they're not going to come back and give you DJD for the same knee. Or that particular Osgood disease is going to be the same. It's going to combine. They're going to combine that with DJD. They're not going to break those out. Respiratory is 6602. Is that the asthma diagnostic code, Mr. Jones? I think it is. All right, Robert Rodriguez, Super Stick. Hey, I appreciate the support, the donation, and the support to the channel. Randy, 40% for binocular 2-time vision, a symptom of then. Okay, wait a minute. And this is why I really want to do the private Q&A session, because I want to make sure that I'm understanding these questions. Then file supplemental claim for MG. What is MG? Got 30% for MG for period ending before 2XV start. Code changed to 8025606. No change. Hearing. Okay. Change, no hearing. Randy, I would have to look at those diagnostic codes, but I'm really not understanding that question. I know it probably is some simple, but I'm not understanding where you're going with it. But what he listed is the diagnostic code 8025 and 6066. There's two separate body systems. Okay, so it looks like they combined two different diagnoses from two separate body systems into one. Now, why they did that, I don't know, but they should have detailed it in the narrative section of the rating decision. Can a chiropractor who VA is paying for treatments write a nexus letter for the back condition? I had my private chiropractor to write a nexus, and he completed my DBQ. Robert from Aurora, Colorado. My daughter's stationed out there in Aurora, Colorado. She's at Buckley. Dwayne, I looked at your mock CMP exam last night, and it was really informative. Hey, I appreciate it. And that's why I tell veterans, especially when I do a video and I say I'm gonna link a video at the end of this video, definitely watch the entire video, because I've had people say, "Hey, I watched the video on this," and they ask me a question. I'm like, "Well, you stop watching the video about halfway through, because the answer to that question is actually in that video." But Robert, good job. Thanks for the support. Glad you went out there and looked at it, because that way you'll know, hey, when you go to that CMP exam and you got that DBQ, hey, wait a minute, you didn't ask that question. That could be the difference between a 20 and 50%. Okay. Thanks for the response. And yes, said my name the right way. Okay. Okay. All right. I see you changed the icon there. Okay. NYC Streets, Ada Wayne. So I filed a high level review, and now they have dropped my PTSD. They dropped my PTSD to 50% from 70. I won't get a letter to appeal since the overall rating won't change. What should I do to fight it? Oh man, I'm sorry. Something got in my eye. So when the overall rating doesn't change, the overall evaluation doesn't change, they can just go ahead and reduce it, right? Now, what could have happened, I'm going out here on a limb. If you filed an increase, now let me back up. If they have 2 exams, CMP exams, that shows improvement, because that 70% has been in effect less than 5 years, and they have, no, take it back. If you are 70% and you're going for an increase, and that 70% has been in effect less than 5 years, they can reduce it. If it's been in effect more than 5 years, then they need 2 exams to show improvement. Okay. So NYC Streets, let me know which one you fell under. Andrew Baker, I was awarded 100% schedule on February 2021, and then PNT on May 2022. I recently asked to attend a CMP exam next month. I told them I was PNT, and they said I still had to attend. No open claim. That's weird. That is weird. And that's where having a copy of your claims folder, because especially if you had a routine future exam, like say on a cancer or something like that. But if you're already PNT, I don't see why they would do that. But question, do you have a copy of your claims folder? That's a good question with the rating decision. I'm sorry, the rating code sheet. Alejandro, look at the 38 CFR diagnostic code is 6606 for respiratory. But and I'm not looking at Mrs. Jones. Is that 6602? Is that for asthma? Okay. So yep, there it is. Asthma is only rated at 30, 60, or 100%. And he gave you the diagnostic code. So Alejandro, when you go in there, look to see where do you think you fall. Now, if you do a PFT test, that's hard to say because it make you blow in that tube. But if it's other criteria other than the PFT, figure out which one your symptoms fall under, 30, 60, 100. And that's why I tell vets, Mr. Jones hit the nail on the head. He went to that rating schedule. He pulled up that diagnostic code. You should be doing the same before you go to that CMP exam. If you're claiming diabetes, what's the criteria for 0%? What's the criteria for, I think it goes up 10, 20, and 40%, okay? You got to know that before you go to that CMP exam, all right? Just don't go in there and try and wing it. No, sir. No, sir. All right. Beltway 95 Sports. Okay. Thank you for all your help. I just need 10% to get to that 100. Hey, that is the hardest. That's the hardest. Carl Mitchell. Hey, what's good? I think we met before, Carl. You up in North Carolina. I think you got some kin people down here in the Tampa area, if I'm not mistaken, right? I could be wrong. Good evening from National Champs, Georgia Bulldogs. Thanks for all you do. Appreciate it. Carl, my PTSD claim is in high level review. The VA overlooked my 2 buddy statements on my stressors. What do you think? Look at the rating decision, the evidence, and see if they put those buddy statements in there. If they're in there, they didn't overlook it. Okay. All right. Somebody let me know. I got 153 people. Nobody has told me how many likes we got. Big Face KG channel. Hi, Dwayne from Illinois. What part of Illinois are you from? All right, here we go. Don't forget the private Q&A session, September 27th. I got one at 1 p.m. and I have another one at 7 p.m. Small, it's limited seating. Okay. Mike Maddox. Hey, Mike, thank you for all the likes on Facebook. I recognize the name. I recognize the skull. Thank you every day. Every time we post a post in Facebook, you're always liking it. So definitely thanks not only to the support in Facebook, but on YouTube as well. Good to see you, sir, as well. And always great information. All right. I have to leave early, but we'll catch the replay. Dwayne, I cannot thank you enough for all you do in helping veterans get educated. Keep up the good fight, everybody. Hey, appreciate you and appreciate your support. Okay, come on, everybody. I'm gonna stay on here another 4 minutes. We got 153 people in here and 73 likes. Gypsy, I am having total knee replacement in October. My other good knee is now giving me problems. How difficult would it be for me to get bilateral ratings for my knees? Okay. Are you service connected for the knee you're getting a total replacement for? Okay. And then if you're already service connected for that, then you claim the right knee, the other knee secondary to the knee replacement. Okay. So Jeremy's saying congratulations to everybody got the 100%. Here we go. Congratulations, Meathead. Yep. Look at it. Look at you, Meathead. You're getting all this support. Congratulations. All right. Jim, sir, like your info, I have 7 issues and 1 claim. Been 7 months. My status has 6 of the 7 claims closed. Why so long? Since February 22? It's hard to say, but I tell you this, everyone, you may think those are long wait times. I had to wait 10 months to get my first CMP exam. And then I had to wait another 2.5 months to get the rating decision. So from my start to finish for my first rating decision was 1 year. So a lot of people, if you're around that, February may seem like a long time. It should be done, but like I said, every claim is different. There's a lot of variables that come into play, people looking at the claim. It's a lot of things that could be pushing that claim out. It's that time. Congratulations. Welcome to the Hundo Club. All right. See, look at you. Me here. We're getting all these congratulations here for you. And I think it was somebody else said that they had 100% PNT as well. Congratulations to those that have made it to the Hundo Club. Can somebody tell me who came up with the Hundo Club? All right, Tony, how we doing? Miss Jones, Dwayne, if I am 100% permanent total, am I subject to reevaluation? Just did a video on it. No, they should not be requesting, because when you PNT, they're saying that every condition is static. Now, unless you got a condition in there that's your cancer or something like that. But if that percentage did not help you get to 100%, even if they reduce it, you're still 100%, if that makes sense. Brad Mason, my favorite VA channel. Hoorah. All right. Okay. Hey, I appreciate that. Mr. Wingman, you guys make a great team. Keep up the outstanding work. I've been trying to get him back on here, but he's a little shy taking these questions. I've been doing this Q&A. I think next month I'll make it 2 years I've been doing this Q&A. So I'm really comfortable with it. Maybe the physician omitted info that should have been covered. Okay, I didn't know if you were answering somebody else's question. Karen, thanks for the super sticker. Definitely appreciate it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. No, I didn't get through everybody's question tonight, but I do have that private Q&A. Let's see who we got here. Excellent info. Appreciate it. I don't recognize the name, but I've seen that icon before. I think I've seen that icon in one of my YouTube comments, if I'm not mistaken. But sorry I didn't get to everybody's question. This is only an hour, but the Q&A, private Q&A, is going to be offered for a few seats are going to be available. Putting the link into the comment section again, and that way I can hear the question instead of reading it, and maybe ask another question to get you a correct answer. Okay, and let me know if this, private Q&A, probably too early, depending on who signs up. Let me know if the private Q&A session is something that you want me to do. Now, I do one-on-ones, meaning a private Q&A, and you're the only individual in there. You have my undivided attention for an hour, okay? But that's a paid service. So if you're interested in that, give me a call, shoot me an email, and we can get you set up, okay? Oh, wow, only 56 likes. Come on now. All right, so one last question. Please let me know the title of the video for submitting my claim. Look at, I think if you go to my YouTube channel and do a search, type in step 1, and that video should come up. And like it's that time said, type in 5 ways of service connection. So step 1, you'll find one video, and then 5 ways of service connection for the other. Okay. Yep. Please like this live if you're here. Yep. All right. So everyone, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I do apologize if I didn't get to your question, but I do these events every other Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Again, you're more than welcome to sign up for a one-on-one or sign in for a private group Q&A. Again, seating is limited. I put the link where you can sign up in the comment section. Okay. So, wait a minute. 148. We got 137. So we made it. All right. So with that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and don't forget to share this video with your fellow veterans. Thank you and good night.